Pure insanity. Purely insanity. Should the Giants cut Russell Wilson? And I think Jay's probably the only one in the chat who will say yes, because I know
was
Jay
about to say,
already
he's
said so. He's already
commenting.
said it. Now, this is all coming out because of Mark Schlereth, who I usually like a lot of what he says and does, because he's an entertaining guy. He's a fun guy. He's very much down to earth. Former guard, obviously, with the Washington, whatever the hell you want to call him at that time, and the Denver Broncos. Now he's a analyst for Fox Sports. He's worked a few places there, been doing that for quite a while now. He said the Giants should cut Russell Wilson and start Jaxson Dart. I'll take this from the perspective of what went down in Denver just a year ago. In Denver, they had Russell Wilson. They moved on from Russell Wilson. Russell, he has a propensity to take too many sacks, not throw the ball in the middle of the field, all these different things. They draft a rookie quarterback, and everybody said, "Oh, the roster is not very good. The roster is the 31st ranked roster in all of football. Oh, it's a quarterback who, yeah, he may be smart, but he lacks a big arm talent and lacks the athleticism, or can't feel all these different things." And the bottom line was there was a struggle for 3 or 4 games. He wasn't great right out the gate. And then he became the second highest touchdown quarterback as a rookie next to Justin Herbert. He threw 29 touchdowns last year, almost threw for 4,000 yards last year. You start your rookie and you will go with the growing pains, and you understand that you're not going to the playoffs right now. You do have a great defense, which is one of the best things you can give a young quarterback, is a great defense. I just think it's time to rip off the Band-Aid and say, Jaxson Dart, you're our guy. Like I said, I like him. I like a lot of what he says on a lot of things. He's a fun, entertaining guy, and he knows football. Obviously, he's been around forever. Was a damn good player. I'm sorry, that's crazy. I like. Here's the difference of what you had there. Bo Nix was around playing college football for many, many years. Was as NFL ready as he was going to be. There's the difference. Jaxson Dart is a project. Like, point blank, he's a project. And if you don't have the patience, we talked about this in the last episode, you don't have the patience, you're going to ruin him, because you're going to kill any possible semblance of, confidence that he has. And right now, he's a very confident guy. Don't rush him out there. Now, I love the fact that he thinks Jaxson Dart is the guy and should be out there. That's part of what I do like about the whole scenario. But I hear rumors. I know Pat Traina was just talking about in her show the day about how he still has trouble sometimes taking too many sacks based on what they saw in spring practice. A lot of things that would have been sacks that he just held on to the ball too long, didn't make the throw at the right time, that kind of stuff. Like, that's nuances that you learn as you go. And if you want to stick a rookie quarterback in with that offensive line that's had issues, again, I think they're probably better than people give them credit for, but still they're not stellar. This is not the Eagles offensive line. It's not the Cowboys offensive line to pass. And it hurts Giants fans to maybe make those references, but it's the truth. If you want to put a guy who has trouble dealing with pass rush week 1 in front of that offensive line, when you're still trying to figure out and gel this team, you're asking for trouble. Point blank. You are asking for trouble. And it's going to find you. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
And there's one thing about taking the lumps, like Bo Nix taking the lumps for a little bit there. But Bo Nix, maybe he has a different mental makeup even. I don't know him personally. I'm not going to play that kind of game at that point there like that. Different players can deal with different things. I mean, Eli got thrown to the wolves his first year. We talked about that today too. And he excelled, at small parts of time. Like, you saw glimpses of it. But for the most part, he looked pretty bad, guys.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions his rookie year.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea, like, you have to throw him to the wolves. So, like, and the one advantage I would say, like, if we throw a dart to the wolves is, like, knock on wood, the defense has done. We made a lot of improvements on defense, and like we may not be getting the interceptions out there, but there's a lot of pressure to the quarterback. Hopefully, more turnovers, quick 3 and outs, not letting up a lot of points at the end of the day. Like, if our defense could do something like that, it really helps out a rookie quarterback go through growing pains.
Yeah.
Because if you make a turnover, you make a mistake, and your defense can stop the ball before a score, get you the ball back, it allows you to develop a little bit more. Just exactly what happened with Russell. That was a Legion of Boom error.
Now, part of what you got to keep in mind as well is how the season went for Jaxson Dart. So, like, not only did he get thrown, not Jackson, I'm sorry, Bo Nix, not only did he get thrown to the Wolves, but in the beginning when he looked rough like that, they were throwing the ball way too often, which is an issue with the rookie quarterback. Let him not be the star. I know it's kind of hard to say because you're the quarterback and be the star no matter what, but let the run game be the star. Figure out things around him at that point. Figure out ways to work, different trick plays and make his job a little easier. Instead, his first 3 games, he had over 35 attempts in each game.
Yeah, he didn't
each game. And didn't look good, as you said, did not look good. After that, he didn't have 35 attempts until week 8. Then he didn't do it again until week 12.
Yeah, I think after the 4th week, 5th week, it was like 20.
So 18. You're talking like 2 of 8 games, he had 35 attempts or more. That's it. Because they realized they were throwing him to the Wolves too much, and they kind of pulled back. But the difference with them is they didn't have a backup plan either.
Yeah.
And that's part of it too. We got to keep in mind, guys. Because again, I'm focusing on Bo Nix here specifically because that's what that's what he was talking about specifically. That's what Stink was talking about it as Mark Schlereth. No, in case people aren't aware of that, that's what he was talking about. Now you look at the depth charts. Who are we going to start at quarterback? Jared Stidham? Zach Wilson? Would Denver have done the same thing if they had quarterbacks like Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston?
Probably not.
Probably not. And you know what? They would have started him. It would have been like a temporary thing, probably. And I think, again, I get the sentiment he's having here of hey, this is your future. The future is now. Let's get it rolling. Why keep waiting?
And the Broncos defense last year was pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
It was top 5 defense last year, right?
Yeah. And I think that's the thing he's forgetting is that team may not have been as bad as people thought it was.
They were sneaky good with a development quarterback.
Yeah. And they had on there, Cortland Sutton obviously is a decent wide receiver. He's not great, but he's decent. They had some weapons around him at that point there. They had good defense. Like I said, I don't see. I just don't see it here. Now I do see Jay saying things in the comments. That's what he said. He said, you only not start a first round QB if he's physically undeveloped or your line sucks super bad. Well, guess what? I don't want to say mentally underdeveloped because that sounds like he's special, but I mean he's not mentally there reading things yet, and that's the thing, and that's part of what we said, the pass rush, things of that nature. But yeah, the line sucks super bad potentially. Let's see here. He says growing pains, it happens at one time or another. Why wait? This season is about figuring out who he is. 100%. We said that today as well, but you're not going to find out who he is if you throw him too fast. You're going to find out what he is now, not what he could have been.
Listen, the majority of the quarterbacks, we said the Monday, the majority of the quarterbacks that said again, throw it to the Wolves, they've had a higher success rate. Granted, you have your Mahomes, you have your Herberts, you have, your Bo Nix out there. They go out there and have a good year the first year. Yeah, they look good. But you also have your Jamarcus Russells. You have your James Winston's. You have these guys who go out. You have way more first-round picks in the quarterback position that didn't succeed because they threw them right there into the Wolves.
Yep. Yep. And it's
Like,
funny because you can play either side of that coin. You know what I mean? Like you can sit there and say, "Well, look at the guys who waited and look how great they are," but you can also list the guys who were great right off the bat.
you
But
can.
I do think history shows that the better percentage is letting him sit for a while.
I mean, the biggest thing too is like if you have a quarterback in play and you have your backup to initially take over, kind of like let's be real. Look at Green Bay, right? That's the best example. Brett Favre for over a decade. Aaron Rodgers sits behind him, right? Yep. Fantastic. And now, look at Love play.
Yeah.
Like, not saying anything about those characters in play.
Yeah, but we're not talking about their personalities.
But the talent-wise, like, they've had 3 quarterbacks really be the starters. Like, yeah, there's some injuries here and there and whatnot, but, like, 3 decades of quarterback play.
Yep. And they sit him. And they sit him and they wait a while. They get him ready to go. Deb says Dart was a very high first round pick. They traded down to get him. They traded down to get him, but he was a pick 25.
Yeah, I want to say
there's a handful of picks before that was a second round pick. I just again, I'm not saying you don't put him in. I'm not saying you don't put him at all this year, no matter what. You have to kind of play the season by year and see how things go. But it's also how ready he is. If they don't think he's ready and they want to put him out there because they don't think he's ready, then don't rush him. Get him going. Jay says, I'll take Schlereth's NFL advice over the vacuum guy. Your opinions are like the vacuums you sell. They suck. Wow. You know, the funny thing is, people are going to watch this thing, Rob, and think you actually sell vacuums.
I know, it's funny. I actually have a few of my customers that actually watch the show. So
yeah.
They're probably laughing like, what?
That was my point. He's 25th pick, not 25. Yeah, exactly. And that's a good valid point, Deb, as well, because Bo Nix was a top 10 pick. Was he pick 8 or something like
that?
I want to say,
yeah, right around there.
Like, there's a little bit more need to throw them out there, even though, to me, you put people out there when they're ready, regardless of when you pick them.
Yeah, but
let's see. He was pick 12. Okay, he's pick 12.
Yeah.
So still top half of the first round.
But listen, at the end of the day,
Jay says he's joking, Rob. He give you a heart.
My heart
weakest character from Captain Planet.
Heart.
I always felt bad for that kid. Like, everybody else had cool powers, like water, whoosh, tidal wave, earth, like rocks come out of the ground,
fire,
heart. Like, poor kid. Let's see. Rokol G says the Giants are going to proceed with caution, Jay. They have their guy. They aren't going to send him to the Wolves. Damn straight, you shouldn't.
100%. Listen,
damn straight.
I've said it before on the show. I'll say it again. You go get Russell Wilson. Well, first you get James Winston, right? Which Drew and I have been calling for that action quite a bit. Bring him into play. Like, listen, best backup that could start for you. Warren Bears team. Throw you, like, last year, what happened? We didn't throw the ball deep. James Winston would have thrown the ball deep. Granted, he would have thrown for 7 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns. Not sure to what team, but he would have done. He would have done so.
Yep.
First overall pick. You get Dart, draft that pick 25. So you're like sitting there. Hey, this is what the first overall did. Like, maybe I shouldn't get too zealous. Like, maybe this humbles you a little bit. Like, what you should be doing. Then you go ahead and you get Wilson, who was taken later in the draft, been to the Super Bowl a few times, been in some high caliber teams. Maybe you could pick his brain what he did as well. Like, he's got this very psychological dynamics where he can learn from these two guys and how they played in the NFL and how they made such a long career, because both of them. At the end of the day, like, they weren't 3 years and out. Like, they've had a long, successful career.
Yep.
You probably wanted to let him to learn as much as he can before he steps in the field.
Probably
the smart thing.
Now, I have a side note in this conversation.
It's like saying your doctor, like, he was really good coming out of his bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
Let him do your surgery. Yeah.
Would you let the top of the class doctor student just go walk the hospital floor with nobody watching him?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I have a little side note that I probably knew this and didn't know it, but I saw this here just now looking up Bo Nix stuff. Do you know what city he's from?
What city?
It's in Kansas, aka Arkansas. Arkadelphia.
Wait,
Arkadelphia, Arkansas. That's where he's from.
he looks like he's from Arkadelphia.
Arkadelphia, really? What the? Okay. Anyway,
I could guarantee you, as a person that drove through Arkansas, there's probably a lot of churches and a lot of trees and a lot of lights as you drive through that town.
Yes, a lot of people at one.
Not a lot of people. No, not a lot of people.
A lot of people at one family reunion.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a relative.
The graduate in high school was like 7.
Oh God. Jay says you guys act like he's a porcelain doll. No, we just understand that you can kill confidence. And this is not just quarterbacks. There's a lot of things, guys. Like in my own profession, I've had to train plenty of people, and I don't cut people loose to do a job unless I know they're ready, and I'm confident they're ready, because it makes me look bad as somebody who trains people. It's the same with this. Like Dable is the trainer, basically. You know, like he's got to make sure this guy's ready for the job, and if he falls flat in his face, it's going to make Dable look bad.
Yep.
And guys, again, he's not a first overall pick. Like, I get it why Cam Ward and those kind of people start right off the bat. There's so much pressure you kind of have to do to a certain degree, even though, again, I don't think it's right. But this is a 25th overall pick. You'll be fine. You can let him sit for a little while. So then he says, Dart will probably be giving out some treasure chests at first. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's all rookie quarterbacks. Like I said, Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions, I said before. His rookie year, he did. I remember that. He did not look good at all. Real Cold G says, so you want another Jones scenario. Makes sense. He says, Jay says, I'm not saying that not all quarterbacks are the same person. Some start 1, some start 3 years later. Yeah, we're not waiting 3 years, that's for sure.
Yeah,
D's Nuts says, I waited a long time for a good QB. Let's try with Wilson till it starts time, whenever that is. And
I see what you did. Let's ride.
Yeah. Oh, he did. He did.
He did.
Very witty D's Nuts.
Yeah.
Jay says, Rob has a doctor. Never could imagine he cares about his health at all. Whoa. I'll have you know, he spends most of his time at the Golden Corral at the salad bar, specifically the salad bar. He may load his salad up with tons of bacon, but it's still a salad.
And dressing.
Oh, so much dressing. And croutons.
Zesty ranch.
Croutons.
All the croutons.
Croutons up the wazoo.
And steak and shrimp and fried chicken. But whatever.
Wait, steak and shrimp and fried chicken is not part of a salad.
Yeah. You never had
what kind of salad are you having?
Never had a steak salad. Never had a chicken salad. Never had a shrimp salad. God.
Chicken and shrimp on one salad.
Well, you have to go up a few times to get all that.
The meat medley salad.
Yeah.
Sounds like a weird pizza salad hybrid here. The meat lovers salad. Jay says the comic store is a high pressure environment. Drew needs to have you benched for a year. Listen, sometimes I wish I worked at a comic store. It'd be a lot less stress, probably.
Yeah,
but I don't know enough of comics to do it. Let's see. Oops, I'm skipping people. He says, Real Cold G says Dable is trying to keep his job. He isn't throwing him out there until he's ready. Yep. 100%. And Jay says salad bar. He's doubting your salad barness. Which I gotta say, I was on board with the salad bar until you said the meat medley on the salad bar, because you're not.
There's no Golden Cross in New Jersey. Jesus.
There's no Golden Corrals anywhere. I don't know why we're still talking about Golden Corrals. I think it's just the most famous one. Like, we can't do Shoney's. Like, Jersey never even had Shoney's to begin with, but Shoney's were popular down south. Now they're gone as well. Like, what is the new Inn buffet?
I don't know if there is.
We had Sweet Tomatoes down here in Florida for a while until they closed down. They're pretty good. Let's see. We're gonna look it up. We have to update ourselves. We're aging ourselves.
The China buffet.
Oh, the China buffet is pretty good.
Oh, the Korean hot pots.
I love hot pots. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Most popular buffet chain. Let's see.
Sushi all you can eat.
Here we go. The first that pops up, Golden Corral. Oh my gosh. There's
listen, that's where the Golden
See, Real Cold G says we still have Golden Corral in Arizona. There you go. See,
let's go to Prescott Valley.
See, next time you go visit your family, you can go to the Golden Corral in Arizona.
I mean, Wyatt Earp, the Golden Corral.
Yes. There's a rumor that the Golden Corral is actually what gave Doc Holliday tuberculosis.
I'll be your huckleberry and diabetes.
They call that after you're done eating this, they call it the "Are you okay, Corral?" Oh my gosh!
I may be not all that sick as I made out to be.
Oh my god! Be throwing up some huckleberries afterwards.
Yeah.
Anyway,
thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
If you like that clip,
then you will love the full episodes too.
Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.